Hello and welcome to the football world. You're watching the Football Current, powered by pure football energy.
Is that money?
MrBeast is attempting to buy the goalkeeper's trust and purchase his way to a goal.
What is going on?
Will the goalkeeper accept the bribe?
The side between Bilal and KSI. He's jumped on him there, and it all of a sudden turns into a WWE match. It's an unbelievable move there.
KSI is the one with the WWE experience, but Bilal's done decent there.
It's a hurricane from Bilal, and the play continues there to Diego Costa. Found a bit of space. Created separation from
Football has always been presented to us as something sacred. A game built on structure, on discipline, on unspoken rules that go far beyond what is written in the law book. For more than a century, it has been framed as a contest of seriousness. 90 minutes where emotion is controlled by tactics, where chaos is shaped by systems, and where respect for the badge, the opponent, and the referee is supposed to remain constant. That is the football we were raised on, the football we defend, the football we argue about in living rooms, cafes, and comment sections across the world. And yet, every once in a while, something happens that forces the entire sport to pause. Not because of a title-deciding goal, not because of a legendary comeback, but because the game, for just a few seconds, stops looking like football at all. Because in one moment, watched live by millions and clipped by millions more, a football pitch turned into something else entirely. Player was lifted clean off the ground. Not nudged, not tripped, lifted, thrown down with the kind of exaggerated motion you expect under bright lights and scripted drama. For a split second, the instinctive reaction was confusion, then disbelief, and then laughter. And just when the crowd and the internet thought that was the peak of the absurdity, the game delivered another scene that no serious football manual could ever prepare you for. Penalty was awarded. The tension built. Cameras zoomed in. And instead of a focused run-up or a deep breath, a player approached the goalkeeper holding a briefcase. He opened it. Inside was money, a theatrical bribe, performed in front of tens of thousands inside the stadium and millions watching online. At that moment, a simple question echoed everywhere. Was this football? Or had football, even briefly, decided to become pure entertainment? To understand why this moment divided opinions so sharply, you have to understand the stage on which it happened. This was not a league fixture played under pressure of relegation or title dreams. This was not a European night soaked in history. This was not a World Cup qualifier carrying the weight of a nation. This match took place at London Stadium, one of the most recognizable football venues in England. A ground that has hosted Premier League battles, international fixtures, and moments of genuine sporting gravity. But on this day, the objective was different. The scoreboard mattered less than the atmosphere. The result mattered less than the cause. This was the Sidemen Charity Match, where Sidemen FC faced YouTube All-Stars. A fixture that exists outside traditional football hierarchies. No contracts, no transfer values, no professional consequences. Just creators, entertainers, former players, and internet personalities sharing the same pitch for charity. These matches are designed with a clear purpose: to raise money, to raise awareness, and to bring together worlds that normally sit far apart. The world of football culture and the world of digital entertainment. The crowd arrived with different expectations. They were not there to dissect a low block or analyze pressing triggers. They were there to enjoy themselves. They were there to see familiar faces try something unfamiliar. And most importantly, the players themselves knew the rules of engagement were different. That context matters more than any single incident. Because football, like any cultural institution, changes meaning depending on the environment it exists in. Then came the moment that sent the internet into overdrive. During open play, one player grabbed another and executed a takedown that would look more at home in a wrestling ring than on a football pitch. It was not disguised as a challenge. It was not a mistimed attempt at the ball. It was theatrical, exaggerated, unmistakable. The stadium did not erupt in outrage. It erupted in laughter, reflexive, uncontrollable laughter. The kind that comes when something breaks expectations so completely that your brain needs a second to recalibrate. Clips spread instantly across social media. Timelines filled with the same questions, repeated in different fonts and tones. Football or WWE? Red card or Royal Rumble? This is football in 2026. And under normal circumstances, the discussion would not even exist. In a competitive professional match, this would be straightforward. A straight red card. a likely suspension, a post-match apology, end of debate. But this was not a normal match. The referee smiled. The players laughed it off. The game continued. That moment alone would have been enough to define the match. Enough to generate headlines. Enough to dominate highlight reels. But football on this day had more surprises ready. Later came the penalty, a moment that, in any setting, carries its own natural tension. Pause in play. All eyes on one spot. A duel between shooter and goalkeeper. Except this duel came with a prop. A briefcase, opened slowly. Money revealed dramatically. It was absurd. It was obviously staged. And it was performed with a clear understanding of the audience watching. The goalkeeper played along. The cameras lingered. The crowd roared. This was not corruption. This was not cheating. This was performance. And that is where the conversation becomes interesting, because reactions split sharply down the middle. One side embraced it fully. They argued that football does not always need to be rigid, that charity matches exist to entertain, that this kind of creativity is exactly why millions tuned in, that the laughter, the viral moments, and the shared experience mattered more than strict adherence to traditional norms. The other side felt something else entirely: discomfort, concern, a sense that a line was being tested. They asked questions that go deeper than a single match. Where is the respect for the game? What message does this send to younger fans? Are we slowly turning football into a circus where spectacle replaces substance? Neither side is completely wrong, because football has always lived in tension between seriousness and showmanship. If you look back through history, the game has constantly evolved. Early football was chaotic, violent, and barely recognizable by modern standards. Rules were introduced to create order. Tactics emerged to gain advantage. Professionalism replaced amateur chaos. Later, personalities began to shape the game as much as formations. Players like Eric Cantona, Ronaldinho, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic blurred the line between athlete and entertainer. They played with joy, arrogance, and flair. They understood the camera as much as the pitch. Yet even they operated within an unspoken boundary. The match itself remained sacred, the competition real. What makes moments like the Sidemen Charity Match so fascinating is that they exist deliberately outside that boundary. They are exhibitions. They are hybrid events. Part football match, part live entertainment show. From a tactical or strategic perspective, these matches are not about systems or structure. They are about accessibility. They lower the barrier to entry. They allow audiences who may never sit through a full Premier League match to engage with football culture in a way that feels familiar and fun. In that sense, they serve a purpose that traditional football cannot always fulfill. They expand the audience. They generate conversation. They remind people that football is, at its core, a game meant to be enjoyed. But there is also a psychological dimension worth examining. Football thrives on meaning. Goals matter because of what is at stake. Rivalries matter because of history. Pressure matters because failure has consequences. When those elements are removed, the emotional framework changes. Players feel freer. Risk increases. Behavior becomes exaggerated. That freedom can be beautiful, can also be dangerous if misunderstood. Because the fear some fans express is not about this match. It is about imitation, about dilution, about what happens when entertainment logic begins to influence spaces where integrity is non-negotiable. Competitive football survives because effort is respected, because discipline is rewarded, because even the most creative players operate within a shared understanding of fairness. If that understanding ever erodes, football loses something fundamental. Not immediately, but gradually, quietly. That is why context is everything. Charity matches can afford to push boundaries precisely because everyone involved understands the difference. The players, the officials, the audience. The danger is not that football laughed at itself for one night. The danger would be if fans stopped recognizing when laughter is appropriate and when seriousness is required. Emotionally, moments like these reveal something else about modern football culture. They show how deeply the game is now intertwined with digital media. Clips matter as much as matches. Moments matter as much as results. For younger audiences especially, football is increasingly consumed in fragments. Highlights, short videos,
Viral moments.
The Sidemen Charity Match was perfectly designed for that reality. Every incident was shareable. Every joke was camera-aware. Every pause was intentional, and yet, behind the humor, there was still genuine emotion. The players felt the crowd. The crowd felt connected to the cause. Money was raised. Awareness was spread. Fans left smiling, not debating offside lines, not arguing about refereeing decisions, but sharing laughs. In a sport often weighed down by controversy, politics, and relentless pressure that matters too, the human side of football is not only about suffering and glory. It is also about joy, about community, about moments that remind us why we fell in love with the game in the first place. At the final whistle, there was no bitterness.
No tunnel confrontations.
No angry press conferences. Players hugged. Fans applauded. The purpose of the event was fulfilled. So perhaps this was not football turning into WWE. Perhaps it was football showing that it understands its audience has changed, that it can adapt without surrendering its core identity. The balance, however, remains fragile. Fun must never replace effort where effort defines competition. Entertainment must never override respect where respect defines legitimacy. Charity matches can bend the rules because they exist outside the system. Competitive football cannot afford to. And as fans, our responsibility is to understand the difference. To enjoy moments like these without demanding them everywhere else. To protect the integrity of the game while allowing it space to breathe. Because football is no longer confined to the pitch. It lives online. It lives in conversation. It lives in debate. And that debate is part of what keeps it alive. So now, the question belongs to you. Do you enjoy seeing football relax and laugh at itself when the occasion allows it? Or do you feel moments like these push the game too far away from what made it special in the first place? Should football always remain serious? Or is there room for entertainment when the stakes are different? Share your honest thoughts, because football today is not just played. It is discussed, dissected, and redefined every single day.